Oh, she back.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Always here.
Always here. Love it. Hey, what was your breakfast today? Have?
I had curried egg with avocado and toast and
Oh my God.
tomato. Delicious. Yeah.
Curried egg. What does
Yeah,
that involve?
like when you have
I like
like
scrambled as
boiled
well.
egg and you
Uh-huh.
boiled egg and then you smash it all up and you put like curry powder and mayonnaise and then you put that on toast. You never had that before?
No.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Not.
So
Maybe
good.
it's just not an Italian thing.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is. I don't
I
know
feel like
where.
if I told my parents, they'd be like, no, that's
What is
strange.
that?
My parents, they ruined me. They ruined my idea of cooking. Like, everything has to be this elaborate kind of start from scratch and do this. Anyway.
My mum started like making stuff like Italian food from scratch, like making pasta and stuff
Oh,
in the
wow.
last few years. Yeah, she gets hella into it. She bought like a pasta maker, pasta hanger upper, like once it's done. I don't know what that's called.
I think some people use coat hangers.
Probably an easier way to do it.
Oh, I don't know. Hey, we got our first footage yesterday.
Oh, exciting!
So
Yeah.
Beck came in and she filmed, and we're doing another one today. It
Exciting.
worked. The audio was great.
Great,
My setup actually works really well, which is lovely.
great,
We
great.
dressed up the room a little bit. We've got like 3 to 4 wireless LED lights, so we can
Oh,
play with that in terms of just lighting the space a bit.
yeah.
And hopefully, if the schedule all goes to plan, I'm seeing Carla on Tuesday, but otherwise, everyone will be done by Monday,
Sweet.
which
Awesome.
means we
What's the
can
date
just
today?
focus
Oh,
on
yeah.
creating it next week. So I think I'll have a bit of fun, just sort of. Right now, I'm
Yeah.
just focusing on stitching the video and the audio together, so at least all the individual files work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're
Fun.
doing a group song. We're doing one group song. We're doing Light from Next to Normal.
Yeah. So how are you going to do that?
Well, silly me forgot to hit record when Beck came. So I got the audio, but I missed the footage. So
Oh
I just asked her to do it
no.
at home. But I'm like, oh, fuck.
Annoying.
But we're actually kind of allowing it to look a little bit more at home feel anyway. So
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
feel like I've just asked them to film it from start to finish, acting in the silence and singing their part because a couple of them have to do it from home. So I send them the backing track and they'll sing on top of the backing track.
Yeah.
And then I feel like what I'll do is have the backdrop of Broadway Unplugged, like the orange artwork,
Uh-huh.
and then have them in like squares
Yeah. Brady Bunch
playing.
style.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Cute.
Originally,
Cute.
I said to Brad, I was like, should we do their whole body? And he's like, nah, let's just do
Yeah.
from the waist up or something.
Yeah. I reckon that would look the best.
Yeah. So it sounds a bit. My head's going. Oh God, I don't know if that's gonna work, but
That'll work.
I think it'll work. As long
Yeah.
as I
It'll
think
work.
one of them who's doing it virtually doesn't quite know how to sort of put down a vocal track like on GarageBand. So I
Right.
just need to coach her through about with that. But
Yeah.
she ends up just getting a bit stressed sometimes. So just need to sort of guide her through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, anyway, should be fun. Is anyone else
Yeah.
joining us? What's going on?
I don't know.
Here's a private lesson.
Private.
What do you want to know?
Everything. All the things.
Everything. How have you been going this week? Has it been you sort of been stitching things together? Like you're like, okay, I
Yeah.
get that, I get that.
Yeah. No, it's so interesting, like actually getting a good sense of how chords and stuff work. And because like my extent of piano playing is, yeah, it's just bashing out chords
Yep.
when I'm like looking at songs. It's not anything fancy or anything like that.
Yeah.
So being able to understand all the little, like the sevens and stuff that I didn't know before is
Yeah.
very handy. And then yeah, knowing that you can play a chord not in the order and like move it around, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, why did I not know this earlier?
Ah. It'll really push your playing and also just make
Yeah.
you sound a bit fancy. Uh, It's interesting because a lot of this, I feel like when I was starting to play, I was sort of just making stuff up and kind of trying to find a logic to it all. And then finally, I actually went through tertiary study and I was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, that's not very obvious.
Yeah.
Now I just take it for granted. It's just in there. It's just in my body. It's super integrated.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
actually nice to actually talk about it and feed it through.
Well, yeah, I had a similar thing. So when I kind of didn't start looking at music theory again until I went to BCA. So I obviously did piano lessons when I was a lot younger, like very, very young. And then stopped and then, went back to music, looking at music theory at uni. And when I sat down by myself and was starting to play chords, I was just like, I don't know how I know this. Like, I don't remember how to do scales. I don't remember how to do any of this. But my hands just kind of knew how to do chords. And I was like, how do I know? It was such a weird. I was like, how do I know this? I shouldn't know this.
Did
But
you,
yeah.
as in like you had the knowledge prior? As in
Well,
like,
yeah. I mean, I guess it was retained from when I
yeah,
was little, doing scales all the time.
that's great.
And then again, like I said, trusting my ear and going, yeah, that's the chord. I don't know why that's the chord, but that's the chord,
That's
like
cool.
just
It's
being able to hear
interesting.
it.
Sometimes being able to hear it is so much more important than actually knowing if you're doing it pinpoint accurate. Because if you can trust your ear rather than making it an intellectual venture, then it's like, okay, cool. This is a major chord. I can clearly hear that major third, and it sounds bright and happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I want to talk about. I could just keep talking if you want, or if there's something specific, like if there's specific questions you want me to touch on. Very happy to.
Actually, if we could continue the same, what we were talking about, if we could go back to that F sharp dim 7, because I think I got a little bit left behind there yesterday. I might
Yeah.
actually, since there's only two of us, I might actually go sit in front of my piano so I can
Yeah.
actually touch my piano.
do.
That helps me.
This is a
My
good song.
mum's working out in the background, so excuse her.
Is she? What is she doing?
She's
Kind of
doing
okay.
she's doing a like TV workout.
Yeah, she is. What a rock star. What's your mother's name?
Her name's Hina.
Hina.
Yeah.
Great.
There she is.
What a
She'll get angry
rock
at me.
star. She's not messing around.
No, she's serious.
I got up today.
We're all like this.
Sleeping in, and I was like, and then just for a moment, I was like, all right, you're up. Come on. I was like, get out of bed.
Get to it.
Get to it. Let's go.
This
Let's
is all
move.
of us at the moment. We're we all go to the gym on a daily basis, so we're all kind of gone a bit crazy.
Okay. Big
So I do my
numbers.
workouts in the garden, and they do it in here.
That's great. It's so important for a healthy mindset to get the
Yep.
body moving in some way, shape, or form, especially whilst we're kind of
I know
enclosed.
about it.
Okay.
All right,
So we got our C over G. Happy with that?
Okay, so that's the inversion, isn't it? So
Yeah.
that's no. So that's playing from the E, right?
Playing from the G. So G is the lowest note of the chord.
Oh yeah, it's second inversion.
Second inversion.
Right. So would
Yep.
that's yeah.
But you want to
And then
make sure you
In
can.
the left hand, you would play the C.
So the G is actually indicating what the left hand should do.
Right. Okay. Yep.
So this is where it gets a bit confusing with inversions. Yeah, nice. That sounded good. That sounded gospelly. So honestly, when you see a C over G, your priority is to make sure there's a G in the bass. And really, your right hand can play any form, any shape of C major. Because the lowest note is actually going to denote that that's the inversion.
Right.
So I'm playing all sorts of C majors. But the lowest note has like governance over the sound.
Right.
Okay? Now, if it said in a theory exam, play C over G, then you'd be like, okay, that's C over G. But in context, in a pop context, hey, Michaela.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Do you guys know each other? Carrie, Michaela?
I don't think we've met before.
Sorry.
I'm sure you've come into contact some way, shape, or form, or maybe you haven't. Anyway, Carrie's on the BU board, Michaela, and Michaela's doing the musical MTT. MMT. No. 2 T's?
What?
Music theatre.
MTT.
What does the T stand for?
Maybe this
Shit.
time?
Maybe this time.
Maybe this time.
At least you guys know what's going on. I have no freaking idea. Who am I? It's a question I ask myself every morning during COVID. So we're just going through some chords, Michaela. And feel free to chime in with any questions that you might have. So how are you with building chords, Michaela? Where are you at in
slow,
your...
but
Do you understand the theory behind it?
yeah, I understand the theory. It's just it takes a while to tick over in my brain.
Yeah, cool. All right, that's fine. That's fine. It's okay if things take a bit of time. So we've got our C over G. C over G. So any form of C major over G as a bass. Okay? That's the second inversion. Then, if you think about voice leading, in this current voice, I'm moving to my G major. So I'm going to keep the G. I'm going to move the C to the B. I'm going to move the E to the D. There's my G major. And it's pretty plain as day G major. You know, it's not trying to excite anyone. Good, exactly. F major. Everyone happy with F major?
Yep, that's
Yeah. So now this is a jump, right? F major and G major share no common chord tones, so you can't retain any notes. You just have to move there.
Yeah.
Now G over F. I like to play a bit more of an interesting G, so I'm going to play the D up an octave, and it's going to go. That's my G major for this song, but it's over F. That's purely just my taste. Now F sharp diminished 7. So F sharp diminished 7. Let's just talk about the diminished chord firstly. Let's look at C major. C major. Diminished chord, you flatten the third, flatten the fifth. Super simple. Flatten the third, flatten the fifth. Does that make sense, Carrie?
Yeah.
Yep. The 7 is the same 7 that we're talking about. No, it's not, sorry. The 7 is actually, you have to flatten the 7th twice in a diminished chord. I feel like that's just going to make your brain angry.
Oh, okay.
You can either look at it two ways. All of these notes are minor thirds apart, or you can actually build the diminished chord based on a major chord. So I've got my C major, flatten the third, flatten the fifth, find the 7. That's my 7, but that's not a diminished 7. So I have to go 1, 2. That's a C diminished 7. Just so happens that it's also the same notes as an F sharp diminished 7. So,
Okay.
I'm having such a good time. So here's my C sharp diminished 7. Yeah. Now let's work out the F sharp diminished 7, and I'll relate the two in a moment. So now F sharp diminished 7 might just be a bit harder to recall, because say if you're going across based on the major tonality, there's my F sharp major chord.
Yeah.
I'm going to flatten the third. I'm going to flatten the fifth.
Yep.
And I'm going to find the major 7, which I know is a semitone away from the root note. That's major 7. It's always going to be a semitone down from the F sharp. And I'm going to flatten it twice. 1, 2. How'd you go with that?
Yes, got there. Okay.
Awesome. So there's my F sharp diminished 7.
Okay, so flatten third and fifth, and 7th twice, or they're all 3
Minor
semitones
thirds.
apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
Yikes. Okay.
So because there are it's once you get your head around it, you'll be fine. Michaela, you got all the devices happening. You're online. You're patched in. You're on the grid. Ooh.
It's happening.
Or what
Music
does
theory.
it call? 3 semitones. Tell me if the sound in the background is too much, by the way.
No, it's so fine. I can barely hear it, but I love it.
Okay, good. All right. That makes sense. That's intense, but it makes sense.
It's intense, but yeah. So there are 12 notes in total, if we recall that. Yep. 12 is divisible by 3. This is probably going to explode your brain. But because it's divisible by 3...
Are we looking at C dim 7?
This is a
right?
C diminished 7.
Right,
But
sorry,
if I invert it once, D sharp diminished 7. If I invert it again, F sharp diminished 7. If I invert it again, A diminished 7. Because they're all what's the word? Equidistant.
Yes, right.
So you don't have inversions of diminished chords. You just call them a different name.
Right.
Once you actually start to learn the diminished chords, you'll sort of start to grasp this a bit more.
Oh, yeah.
So, because if you notice, you look at the right hand of the F sharp diminished 7. This, and what's actually notated starts on a C. Sorry, get rid of that highlighter. Starts on a C. So we've got C, E flat, F sharp, A. They're the notes there. So technically it's a C sharp diminished 7. But because the bass note is an F sharp, it becomes an F sharp diminished 7. Exactly the same notes because they're equidistant, but because we make the bass note different, it changes the chord symbol. You'll get there.
Yes.
Just take a bit of time to sort of absorb. All that it's doing is just creating a nice semitone movement between F, F sharp, and G.
Yeah.
Which is quite traditional of gospel and soul music to do that. So yes, then we have, from the start, we've got C over G, G major, F major, G over F, F sharp diminished 7, C6, C6 over G, sorry. So notice the G still in the left hand. I'm playing a C6 in the right hand. Now, because this G is in the left hand, I'm going to get rid of the G in the right hand. Just because it's already there. I don't want it in the right hand anymore. Purely just taste. G minor 6. Do you recall how to build that?
Which one? G minor 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just regular G minor with the 6, but not flattened, right? Is that right?
Yeah. What are the notes?
Is it? No, the 6.
So find your G major scale first, I reckon.
Oh yeah, because it's not the minor.
Yeah, correct.
Pick.
It pulls from the major. It's good.
So it's E. Is that right? E?
Yeah, E. That's correct. That's great.
Nice
Nice work. So it's G minor with an E on top. Yeah, spooky, right?
Yeah. That's right, but never minor.
Yeah, never minor.
Major 6. Major.
You know, if you're getting extra fancy, it's actually pulled from the G Dorian mode, which is based on which is from the F major key. but I'm not going to worry you with that right now.
Yeah,
That
let's
is
not think about
slightly
that.
advanced. So we've just had our C6 over G. We're going to keep the G and play a G minor 6 in the right hand. That's my G minor 6. A7.
Which is hard to get your hand around.
Yeah. Yeah.
My little hand.
Question. You
Yeah.
might have already covered this,
Go for
but
it.
what are the numbers referring to? Like the C6, is that just like where it's played on the piano, or?
Sure. Yeah. So the notes refer to the scale degree. So 6, it's the 6th scale degree in the C major. C major key. 6th scale degree. 6th scale degree is the A, and so I'm going to add an A to C major. Does that make sense? Yeah, you happy? Awesome. G minor 6, I'm going to add the 6 from the major scale still, which is E, but I'm going to make the G a minor. Are there any other numbers? Well, A7. So when you find a 7 and it doesn't say major 7, you're going to flatten the major 7. So first things first, A major, find the 7, that's major 7, flatten it. A7. You happy with that, Carrie?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, F major to F minor 6. F major. Let's find the 6 first. 6 is scale degree. Oh, scale degree 6. It's D. And then I'm going to flatten the 3rd. Yeah, good work.
Like finding which finger to, because I end up like pressing it really weird, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, and because I know what's coming, I can prepare my fingers more accurately. To be honest, for an F minor 6, I go 1, 2, 4, 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And my 3 is just chilling out. Now, a good exercise is to actually press down the chord and tap the B flat with your 3rd finger. Just like that. This is an isolation exercise.
What, 4?
What for? As in, like, what's the objective?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because the 3rd finger, this is for dexterity and isolation, because the 3rd finger and the 4th finger generally have a mind of their own, and we have to actually build the isolation between the fingers.
Mm-hmm.
To have the capacity to press down a chord, most times when we're actually learning the piano, the fingers lift. Any fingers that are not being used have a tendency to kind of flick up. So when you've got something pressed down, this is a slightly mindfulness kind of body awareness thing. So if I've got the F minor pressed down, I'm going to play the B flat mainly because it fits under the shape of the hand the nicest. Okay, it's a nice curved sound, curved shape. And all I'm going to do is mindfully press down on the B flat whilst not engaging any of the other fingers. So they're already somewhat engaged because they're actually pressing down, but that's just gravity, okay? But when we're learning and we're still building the muscularity, generally there's a bit of tension that arises in the hand. But say if I'm relaxing that tension, maybe by rubbing the hand or like just by breathing, then I will actually start to work on pressing that B flat super slowly so that no other finger is getting involved and not getting tense. And also so that 3rd finger is not getting tense. Now, say, for example, my 4th finger is a bit stubborn and I want to make the exercise a bit more difficult. I'm going to hold down the 3rd finger, and now I'm going to do the exact same exercise, but with the 4th finger. I'm going to lift the 4th finger now. Now, if you're probably noticing the 4th finger is kind of like, man, I don't want to do this. Or the 3rd finger lifts up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're joined by the same tendon, so they have a tendency to just do the same thing. They're the most stubborn. So this is just isolation. You can do it on any notes, to be honest.
Yeah, right. Just to like.
It's just a nice shape. This actually is quite a nice shape. Because when we're playing notes like this, we sometimes forget that the keys actually have I'm going to use the word vertical, but it's technically not correct. But because we can move deep into the keys, so you can move long ways up the key bed.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably a bit difficult because I can't actually show you. But so for example, you can play the F right on the edge, the A flat right on the edge of the key. You can play them all directly bang on the edge of the key. Okay, now this is something to be mindful of because generally when we're learning the piano, we don't think about that. We just go, I'm playing the F, what of it? That's the note, the end. But actually, we have a tendency to fall off the edge a little bit, but we want to embed our hands into the keys a little bit. So my tendency when I'm playing a chord like this would be to actually play the A flat and the B flat. My fingers are actually kind of just under halfway, based on the length of my fingers, just kind of halfway into the keys. So when they're actually embedded into the keys, it's following the natural form of the hand. So I'm actually kind of cupping those keys. Cupping it.
Okay.
Almost like a ball, but... Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
So even just this exercise. And you'll find that what you're aiming to do is to glue those fingers so they're not jumping away from the keys. But I'm sure that you'll find that sometimes your fingers just jump off. Until you can just smoothly do that.
Not quite there yet.
Yeah.
My hands are getting angry.
Yeah. Yes.
Neither, sis. It's fine.
Yeah.
The thing that gets me is my thumb. Like all the keys, all the fingers are pressed down, but then my thumb is like that.
Oh, kind of like sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because you guys already have like really good body practices through dance and like physical practices, it kind of puts you a whole leap forward, which is fantastic because if you can learn to kind of apply those principles to what you're doing here, you'll learn to build relaxation and softness through the muscles. There's a difference between softness and completely collapse though. So as we sort of grow into playing a little bit more, we'll start to learn about what it means to actually have a bit of energy going through the palm. So it's not just completely floppy and collapsing. Cool. That was a bit of a tangent, but oh well, here we are. Guys, we're at 1 o'clock. Eventually we'll get past the first 6 bars of the tune. But we might actually.
How did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I talk about chords and I go off on tangents. I think it's good to improve the muscularity so that when you actually go to play, you can play rather than just understand it theoretically. To be honest, I actually think we'll keep going, but we've already covered a whole bunch of chords, which that's why I love using examples rather than sort of just talking about them theoretically.
Yeah.
We've already covered a whole bunch of them to the point that you could actually start to really, you could play this tune. It'd take you a while. Yeah, imagine. Da, da, ja, da, da, dum.
Oh, what a name.
Imagine this. If you can imagine this. Just so you guys. All right. Never again. All right, I'm going to get some lunch, guys. Any final questions, final words as we depart on this Friday?
No, just got to go and practice it.
Yeah. Practice like crazy. Yeah. And we'll be back next week for another round of music theory with Daniele.
Oh my god, yes. Theme song.
I'm working on it. I just never know what the words to be, you know.
Oh,
Miriam
amazing.
doing a
Love it.
thing. There'll be a short version and a long version as well, just so you know you can skip the intro. All right, I'm gonna stop talking. Bye, friends. I'll see you next
Thanks,
week.
Daniele.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good work today.
Talk to you
Really
soon.
good work. See ya.
Bye.